What a race we had. What a lunge by Oscar on Charles. Almost after 10 years, Mclarens are leading the championship. A crash between Sergio and Carlos in the last stages of races made way for George Russell, who was struggling in his Mercedes Benz, and talking about the crash that was purely Perez's mistake. He just sometimes goes over and beyond things. Charles was struggling. Both Checo and Sainz had faster cars. They could have waited and taken him on long straight. That move from Perez was very dangerous. If we watch this video and slow it a bit down, you see the steering action of Carlos. He is not that aggressive on coming to the left side. And also he was way ahead of Sergio, and Sergio could see him very clearly. However, he was very desperate for the move, for the position. This could have been the first time that he would have finished ahead of Max Verstappen, but like all the races, he just destroyed it himself. I can understand his desperation, his hunger, and his frustration in fighting for the position. After so many races, he was ahead of Max, and he could have proven his potential and his worth to the team, to the fans, and most importantly to himself. Why he is still in Red Bull after such a poor performance this season, and why Red Bull kept him for the rest of the season, though they have huge talent in the pipeline. That was the silly mistake of Perez, from being points to DNF. On the other hand, feeling bad for poor Carlos, he didn't have the start he wanted. In the first stint, he was way behind Sergio, but in the later stages of the race, he was right at the back of the Red Bull of Perez, and keeping in mind that he had the fresh rubbers, he would have overtaken Sergio and Charles. This DNF of Carlos will hurt the Ferrari in the championship. They lost a lot of crucial points here. Now coming to McLaren's epic performance. MCL 38 can perform at any track, as said by Zach Brown. McLaren could have led the Constructors' title at the Italian GP, however. They got pipped by Ferrari of Charles. They took revenge from Ferrari. Today at Baku, they were on the spot. They just must keep their strategies clear. I guess Lando's performance today was overshadowed by Oscar's win. But let's not forget, due to a yellow flag issue in the qualifying, he started the race at position 16. With hard tires, he drove so beautifully, he drove them to 38 laps. And keeping Checo behind him allowed Oscar to rejoin the race ahead of Perez after the pit stop. I think that was the moment when Oscar had that free air to attack Charles, because if he had come behind Perez, then the story would have been different. I also think Oscar took revenge for Monza's defeat by Charles. MCL 38 still has an edge over SF 24. It has a wider operating window than SF 24. Lando overtaking Max was also a crucial moment in the Drivers' Championship. His hopes are still alive for the Drivers' Championship. What do you think? Can Lando win the Drivers' Championship? Now coming to Ferrari, after summer break they are back to their initial form. They can perform consistently in Zandvoort, Monza, and now in Azerbaijan. Good to see them again fighting for the podium. Charles was leading the race so well, however his in and out lap during the pit stop was very poor, and his tires were cold as compared to his rivals, which made the door open for Oscar to lunge on him. I think Ferrari now can challenge Red Bull for the Constructors. I don't think they will be able to challenge the Mclarens. Let's see what Singapore brings for Ferrari. Now coming to Red Bull, the downfall of Red Bull has started. I know Red Bull fans will not agree with this, but this is the reality now. The team who was so dominating started to tumble. They don't have an answer. Earlier, they used to struggle at high downforce and bumpy tracks. However, these days in low downforce tracks also, they are struggling. How come suddenly so much loss in performance? Or they were not doing something ethically that is biting them now? Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko said that the solution will come in Austin GP. Let's see how they will perform at Singapore GP. If the performance remains the same, Ferrari might beat them too. Apart from performance, we are not even seeing anything extraordinary in terms of strategies as well. Nothing special about this team. Well, you guys were dominating this sport. You should have something in the bag to show the world why you dominated. Very average performance by the Red Bull team. Let me know your views and how many of you agree with me. Coming to Mercedes, hot temperature is not their cup of tea. They tend to struggle in high temperatures, and today was one of those days. Hamilton's race was compromised the moment he started from the pit lane. George Russell had the pace, he overtook Max, and, in the end, he was able to finish the race in P3. That new floor is not helping them. Let's see what fix they bring to Singapore. Two rookie drivers, Behrman and Colapinto, had an amazing race. Both were able to bring in some crucial points. The confidence of both the drivers is very high. They are proving every time that young talents need to be in Formula One as soon as possible. Albon and Colapinto were able to score some crucial points. Upgrades are working very well for the Williams so far. So, what's your take on the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? Which moment do you like the most? Let me know. See you all in my next video. Until then, like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Bye.